Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and the start of a new series possibly. It's been a funny old day for me, and yeah, I've called it Gutted because I'm going to give a little spoiler here. There are two losses where it just seems, you probably had them yourself, it doesn't matter what you do, you are destined to lose. And your base XP score at the end is, yeah, really quite high, and you just think if I'd have won that would have been even higher. Absolutely gutted. But anyway, yeah, Mutant 6 M6A2E1, and imagine my surprise when I put World of Tanks on yesterday and I was going to have a look at the hammer. I'm not going to buy the hammer, I'm going to unlock it because it's, well, it's just a upgraded Tiger but with 170 less horsepower it seems. And there was a bundle on the end called Mutant 59, and I'd heard of the Mutant 6 and thought, oh, I wonder if that's its proper sort of nickname or something, and I've just got it wrong. But no, it was the Mutant 6 and the Type 59, which I have been waiting to get my hands on since I started playing this game, so I was very, very happy. Snapped one up. It was late on after I'd done the update, so I managed to get a couple of games in, and that's about it. Well, this is today. And I can't remember if this is the first match that I went in today in this. It might have been the second one, I can't quite remember. But I like the Mutant 6. It reminds me of a T29, and that's why I like it, although it's got a much stronger hull. Not as strong turret though, but it's got the 105mm, 5 rounds a minute, 198 pen, 320 alpha damage. You've got 245 pen on your premium rounds. Not the fastest. At I think 29 kilometers an hour, but you've got 191mm of armor on the front, 229 on the front of your turret, 208 on the rear of your turret, which is nice. See if I can get one into that IS as he's buzzing along there. Yep, managed to plant one into him. Only 89 on the side of the turret, and your whole sides and rear very weak at 66 and 51. But the gun is more than adequate, and the turret and the front of the tank are very tough. And I can't remember if it's in this match, but I think I blocked over 4,000 damage in it. Might not be this match, might have been a different one. Oh, took a big hit in the back there. I seem to be pretty much on my own up at this end. It's that IS that I hit going across the bridge. Managed to get a nice one into the front of him, front towards enemy in this tank, and there you go, just bouncing from it. And even the lower plate seems quite solid in this. I don't have the numbers for it, but it does seem quite solid. So I'm going to bully this IS straight up into his face and put one through the side of his turret. Well, the side, next to the gun mantle. IS bullied. Right, next victim. But yeah, it looks very silly, this tank. It's very tall. But as long as you can keep your front towards the enemy or get hull down, it's got good gun depression. It is a very, very tough opponent to beat. Just don't give anybody a side like that one there. I got my tracks damaged by the SU-100. I think I just took a hit then from something. I took a bounce, I'm not sure entirely what from. But I'm going to come back around this side and see if I can get a better angle. Well, not so much a better angle, it's to eliminate the amount of tanks shooting back at me. Round that side, all three of them could shoot back. Round this side, only the Mutant 6 would have been able to shoot back, but he's dead anyway. And the other one comes round for a shot and he gets finished off. The SE-100 blows my tracks off again. Put a big one through the front, slightly low, 320 is your average, that was 315. Bit of a mercy roll, and somebody else finishes him off. And I take another hit in the side from something, and I'm not entirely sure what. I actually think it's that ARL. But then I see he's not looking this way, so I'll put a shot at him anyway and just miss because he stopped. And took another bounce from something, and another. So it's something down in this direction. There we go, was it that Tiger? Now at the minute, the scores are pretty even at 5-6. Well, whatever it was, it's not shooting at me now. So I'm going to sweep round this way and see if I can clear some up. There's that ARL again. Can I get a shot at him before he sort of disappears? Risk it? No. He just wiggled. And it went slightly high, I think. Right. T-71 down there. Now I do waste I think I wasted a little bit too much time going after that T-71. And it holds me up a little bit. Nope, can't quite get him yet. Could have done there if I'd have been a bit quicker. And then something spots me, and I'm assuming it's the T-71. And yeah, it's now 6-9 in their favour. Managed to finish off the Tiger though with a nice one through his lower plate, it looks like. There's that T-71 scuttling away. The ARL's moved down that way towards the enemy base to protect his base because we are capping. Hopefully they should be able to deal with him, and if I can just prevent these others going after him, and yeah, it just donks into the ground. Now I think the T-71 is on his way back to try and reset the cap, and this T-21, I think, I don't know what happened. I think he might have lost connection. I'm not proud, but I don't want him regaining his connection and coming back into the match. So there's a 36018 up there. He manages to knock my tracks off, but I get a big hit into him in return. Another one through his lower plate, and he just bounces harmlessly off the front. Now, it's worth noting that I have put a brand new crew in this, and I don't normally, in fact a lot of my other premiums, they actually share the crews from my standard tanks. Oh, something got absorbed by the tracks there, or bounced. A T-20 over that way. Well, I need to deal with him, really. I can afford to back off from that 36018 and try and deal with this T-20. The scores have come back a little bit, but it's 10-12. The T-20 looks like he's running to reset cap. Oh, and I just missed. That's going to cost us. Now I could chase after him, but I'm not fast enough, and I'd seen on the map that 36018 was pushing me again from behind, which sounded wrong, but I managed to finish him off anyway. T-20 looks like he's getting dealt with, and now we're getting capped, so I need to go and deal with that. Right, where are they? Oh, I was saying about the crew as well. Yeah, I've put a fresh crew in it because I want to train them up for the T-32. I've unlocked it. I've just got to buy it, and because I'm keeping the T-29, I'd like to have a half decent crew, at least with the repairs and track repairs, before I actually get it and put them in it. So that's why I put a fresh crew in this. It's basically training them up, and when I've got enough money back, because I've nearly got enough to buy it now, but there's a couple of other things I want to get, some equipment and what have you for a couple of other tanks, and when I've got enough to buy it, I shall stick the crew from this in it and share it with it. Right, now we're approaching base. There's two in here, and I've not got long. There they are. Can I get one into the side? Right, it's giving me a little bit of breathing space. KV Fortress and a KV-85. Right, KV Fortress is going to be a problem, but if I can take care of the KV-85, I've given myself a bit more breathing space with the time at least. If I can try and take care of the KV-85, damn it, and reduce the number of guns shooting back at me, I could probably beat the KV Fortress in a one-on-one. Fingers crossed. Now I'm trying to hit the ammo rack, but I managed to set him on fire anyway, and you bastard. Oh, I just couldn't quite turn fast enough. See, I possibly could have taken that in a one-on-one as well, but just not quite fast enough. Anyway, I come away from that with 5,450 XP, but some of that is from an op, I'm sure. Yeah, got double XP for that one, I think it was. And 25% extra credits for that. But high caliber defender, over 4,000 damage done. 1,700 base XP, which is absolutely gutting. Now I've spent just under 2,500 damage blocked. But yeah, over 4,000 damage done, 5 kills, 1,700 base XP, and still lost. Sometimes you just think, what do you have to do to pull out a win? But anyway, that's what this series is going to be about. It's about those games where you get loads of base XP for a loss, You know, you've tried your hardest, you've done really well, but you still lose anyway. We've got one more coming up for you just like that in a minute. Right, we've got the second one here. I'm in my Type 59, which is my new favourite tank. We're on red shirt. It's a tier 8 matchup. In fact, I forgot to say the Mutant 6 one was on port and a tier 8, I think. But anyway, yeah, standard battle, red shirt, Type 59, tier 8 matchup. And I think this is about my third battle in this tank. Yeah, got to be my third battle. I'm sure it is. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, it's I love it. I do. There's nothing that it particularly excels at, but everything on it comes together to make a very nice package. It's got a 100mm gun, which is actually one of the top guns off the T-34-2, and it's very similar to that, but a little bit slower and more heavily armoured. It's let's have a look. 181 penetration, 250 damage, 6.9 rounds a minute. That's before equipment, and I've got, I think, vent, gun rammer, vertical stabilizer on it. 2.9 second aiming time, 0.39 accuracy. So not too bad, but not brilliant. 56 km/h speed limit, but it's a little bit sluggish to get up there. With a 520 horsepower engine. Turret and hull traverse 46 degrees a second, and 380 meter view range, which could be better, but it's not too savage, I suppose. 100mm of armour on the front, 80 on the sides, and 45 on the rear, and the turret is 200, 130, 60, and that's front, sides and rear. And believe you me, you can get quite a few bounces off the turret of this thing. In fact, I think in the first match I went in it, I bounced a shot from an ISU 152 with the BL-10, which was very surprising and very welcome. You've got 241 penetration with your premium rounds, which are APCR. Could possibly do with carrying a few more rounds, and it's a bit like the T-30, no, not the T-34-2, the Motherland. I think it carries more than that, but it could do with carrying a few more. But I do like this tank. You can bounce quite a few shots off your hull if you angle it properly, especially from same and lower tier mediums and low tier heavies and whatever. But yeah, I like I say, it just comes together to make a very nice package, and I'm playing it a little bit cautiously at the beginning. Just popped up onto here. I'm expecting actually a rush of heavies through sort of F and E0, that area, and I was waiting to see if they came so I could go down and support the guys that have gone there, but it never came. And there they are, they're all camping near their base. Well, what can I say? It's their choice. Not what I would do personally. But I managed to take out the T-29, just fire blind it, his last known location, and luckily it went in. I think I had a couple of shots at some before that on that hill that runs down the middle, but I missed, and I'm trying to get a shot on this Jagdpanther, and I need to find somewhere better to shoot at him. And there you go. Derped it a bit before that, but I pull my finger out again and get into my stride. Like I say, I'm getting used to this tank. It is very similar to the T-34-2. Like I say, it does have one of the same guns, but the armour on this just gives you that bit more of an edge. And I've got an IS-6 there giving me his flank, so I managed to put one into him. I've got a couple of kills at the minute, although the Jagdpanther I did just sort of finish him off and injure it slightly. Now I've got to be aware of those guys camping on the hill near their base. You can see them there on the map around J7. But yeah, there we go. They get one into me, but I've come around the side of this IS-6 who seems blissfully ignorant of my presence. And I don't know what he's thinking, but hopefully I can get the last one into him and finish him off, and there we go. Now you'll see that I went round, took that hit in the back, realised that it exposed the back of my tank to those guys, so I pulled back behind this rise, and it hid me from them while I just finished off that IS-6. And they're the sort of teammates you've got to expect in random battles. They will sit there on the hill, not being able to see what is killing you, and instead of getting into a position where they can, they will still sit there. Now, This is where I get held up a little bit, and it gets quite frustrating. I'm trying to take care of this Pershing, and God knows why. I can, you know, it keeps going through the T20, although that didn't. That went high and hit the back of his turret. But with this Pershing, they never seem to go where I'm aiming them. They always go high or left or right, and they just hit and bounce. And just as I'm complaining about it, one of them goes in. Typical. Make me out to be a liar, World of Tanks. Thank you very much. But anyway, there you go. Thank you. Behave yourself. Yeah, it just keeps bouncing, and it frustrates me, and I expend a lot of ammo trying to kill this little beggar. And it does hold me up somewhat. And I found it equally as frustrating as well towards the end, because obviously this is a gutted video. Managed to get my tracks blown off by the M6. I was going to try and push round to get up there, finish off the T20, and then get into a bit of a brawl with the Pershing. They're all on low health, so it wouldn't have been too bad. But as I crested that ridge, the M6 tracked me, and an invisible ISU 152 gave me a big hit. It damaged my ammo rack. So yeah, not very happy about that. And I take a return shot from the Pershing that penetrates, and that's because I'd flattened out my hull. I was level on the ground there, and he was shooting down on my upper plate, so it flattened it out slightly. So I've just gone up the rise a little bit more, hides the bottom of my hull, well, the bottom of my hull hides my hull a little bit, and only really gives him a turret to shoot at. And I think they've got 190 pen at 100 meters average, and I've got 200 mil of armor on my turret. And that's all this game's about. A lot of the time is maths. See, I knew, well, I say I knew, he could have actually just loaded the gold, having said that, but I managed to finish him off anyway. And that's that. And I've seen, on the northern end of the map, those guys about to sweep into our base, get rid of our RT, and that tank destroyer's in a bad spot because he's got enemies on 3 sides of him. And yeah, I even say defend the base. I need to try and get back there. There's T25AT down there. Now if he's got the 105mm gun, he can give you a nasty kick. And there's the ISU 152, and I'm just looking for a shot, and I thought I could see him through the houses there, so I'll pull back a little bit. I've got time to get back to base. No, but I can't see him, and he's disappeared, so yeah, bugger it. Let's move on to base. RT, I don't know if he's hidden or if he's, you know, he's staying quiet. And I don't blame him, to be honest. There's at least 2 of them in our camp. And if they haven't seen him, then he's lucky, and I don't blame him for just staying hidden for a minute. But if they've been spotted, they're probably, yeah, there we go, they knew where he was. Right, so we've got a T21. I hated that tank. That was satisfying, so I managed to finish him off and reset the cap a little bit. We've got an IS-3 down there as well, and he's on full health. And then I take a hit in the flank, which luckily gets absorbed. But I don't know what it's from, so I turned to put my front armour towards it, and it was that T25AT, I would imagine. It could have been the T29. Oh, and there's an IS down there as well in the cap. So he's not got the most capture points. The IS-3 has, but if I can get rid of the IS, I might be able to get down there and deal with the IS-3. Right, and then something hits me in the back, and it's the T29, and it breaks my turret, nearly kills me, and that's when I realised my mistake. I'd come out a little bit too far from the side of that house, and the IS-3 finishes me off. Yep, absolutely gutted again. IS-3 was on 4 kills. I just got my top gun. Yeah, gutting. And there we go, he manages to cap out because, well, those other 2 guys, they wouldn't have got back in time. Yep, gutted again. 109,000 credits, 2,709 XP, 2nd class mastery badge, that's my 3rd game in it, defender and a top gun, 3,146 damage done, 1,200 blocked, and 677 assisted, which isn't too bad. But yes, absolutely gutted again. And it just makes you think, well, what do I have to do? Yeah, it's 1600 base XP on a loss. But there you go, that's what this series is about. It's about those losses where you just do the best you can, you have a monster game, but it's just not quite enough. Anyway,